across their province.
Now, the plan would cover about 125 drugs and be ready to go by 2020. Now, the NDP say that they believe they can do it without raising taxes or making cuts, although they are not ruling that out. Patrick Brown, the Conservative leader, just talking to us a few minutes ago, saying he wants to know where that money is coming from, criticizing the NDP, saying it's easy to make promises but not know where the money is coming from, although Andrea Horwath says the math for her is pretty simple, while Dr. Eric Hoskins, the Minister of Health, says that he's been in favor of the pharmacare plan and that believes a national strategy is coming from the federal government, so he's sort of waiting in to see if that happens. Reporting live at Queen's Park, I'm Roman Qureshi.
6 News Time, 12:36. Ontario is launching a new pilot project which involves the basic income. Residents of the Hamilton, Brantford, Lindsay, and Thunder Bay areas will be the first Ontarians to receive a guaranteed minimum income. Premier Kathleen Wynne announced details of the 3-year basic income project today in Hamilton.
It's not an extravagant sum by any means. For a single person, we're talking about just under $17,000 a year. But even that amount may make a real difference to someone who's striving to reach a better life.
The government says the income payments are designed to encourage people to work.
This is All Things Radio 680 News. It's 12:37. Well, Leaf fans left smiling and satisfied by the team's better-than-expected season can now watch the rink turn into a court. The Toronto Raptors still hanging tough in their first round of the postseason. Game 5 against the Milwaukee Bucks goes tonight. And Sportsnet's Tim McCallum says we know what these Raps are going to look like.
They're one of the most roller coaster, up and down, play on everyone's emotions teams that I have ever covered in my life. That I can't begin to examine when they...
Action. OPSEU, the union representing the over 7,000 employees, says job security, scheduling, as well as health and safety are among several major concerns. Union President Warren Smokey Thomas said the provincial government's move to sell beer, wine, and cider in grocery stores is a huge sore spot. There are 130 grocery stores in Ontario now selling beer and cider, with 70 of those also selling wine, and the government intends to expand that up to 450. Thomas said the move is creeping privatization, and if it's allowed to move ahead unchecked, it will mean the end of the LCBO. LCBO workers have been without a collective agreement since March 31st.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. We're with the budget deadline set to expire later this week. The U.S. government is heading towards a possible shutdown.
Lawmakers are back in Washington following their 2-week recess and facing a tight deadline. Come Friday, the government could be facing another shutdown. Government funding runs out on Friday, one day before President Trump marks his 100th day in office. The White House using the looming shutdown showdown to win funding for Mr. Trump's promised southern border wall, but also having to grapple with healthcare reform reboot and tax reform, which the president said he'll make.
.ca/Queensway Corner will provide the answer. Audi Queensway, 1310 the Queensway at Kipling, or visit AudiQueensway.ca. Drive well, drive safe.
Checking city streets, Eglinton is reduced to a single lane both ways east of Yonge for construction, and Kiel, both directions through Finch, is down to a single lane for TTC work. Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas won't change at midnight. It'll hold at $1.16.9 a liter at most GTA stations.
680 News Time 1240.
It's never been a better time to invest in a Sub-Zero and Wolf kitchen. Right now at Casco Appliances, you can receive up to $8,500 in savings on qualifying Sub-Zero, Wolf, and ASCO appliances. Hurry in and ask a pro for details. Toronto, Mississauga, Brampton, Richmond Hill, and Pickering, or visit cascoappliance.ca. In 1992, an explosion at the West Grey coal mine in Nova Scotia killed 26 workers. That tragedy made all Canadians think about safety at work. But 25 years later, work is still too dangerous. It still hurts. At the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, we work every day to prevent deaths and injuries and keep employers accountable. On April 28th, the National Day of Mourning, we'll remember those who died, and then we'll get back to work, keeping workplaces safe. A message from OPSEU. We work for you.
680 News Time 1241.
Time for traffic and weather together on the one. Here's Carrie Frunskis. This report is brought to you by HGTV. Westbound on the 401 west of Dixon. Still have 2 left lanes closed for vehicle fire cleanup. Heavy delays. Westbound 401 very slow from Leslie Express and Collectors to approaching the 427. Again, 2 left lanes are blocked.
And now we have new problems eastbound on the 401, just east of the 400 and the collectors. The right lane is blocked with the collision. Already seeing delays eastbound 401 from south of Pearson and
Raptors 5 for the overnight low, and then periods of rain beginning late morning tomorrow. Wind out of the east in the high near 10. Cloudy, windy for Wednesday and 15. For today, the guaranteed high 11.
Right now at 680 News in downtown Toronto, sunshine 8 degrees. Out of Pearson, it's sunny and 9. 680 News time, 12:43.
Now the BMO Smartfolio Market Minute live from the Business Center. Here's Chris McCusker.
There is a TSX higher by 132 points, 15,746. We just have two sectors in the red. That is gold and materials. Gold itself is down by $13 to $12.76. Silver flat $17.93. Oil is down 40 cents, $49.21 a barrel. And the Canadian dollar off by 12/100, 73.96 cents U.S. In the U.S., the Dow higher by 213, 20,761. The S&P up by 23 to 2,371. And the NASDAQ still leading the pack in North America, higher by 1.1% or 67 points to 5,977. It also hit a new intraday high today. I'm Chris McCusker, and that's your Market Minute on 680 News.
Let your money do the hard work with BMO Smartfolio, the affordable hands-free way to invest online that's managed by experts. Learn more at bmo.com/smartfolio.
Still ahead on 680 News, another meat recall involving the Longo's location on Glen Erin Drive in Mississauga.
New 2017 Elantra L 6-speed manual for only $29 weekly at 0% for 36 months with only $16.95 down. Hurry in. Factory authorized clearout ends Monday, May 1st. Once they're gone, they're gone. Visit HyundaiCanada.com for details. Dealer may sell for less.
There are a lot of choices out there,
Latte, espresso.
but sometimes you just need something simple.
I'll have black coffee.
When it comes to online investing, smart is simple with BMO Smartfolio. We match you to a portfolio, and our experts handle all the investing. Sign up today at bmo.com/smartfolio for a limited time offer. When investing is as personal as how you take your coffee, that's the BMO effect. We're here to help. Terms and conditions apply. A product of BMO Nesbitt Burns Inc.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Sunshine, 8 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good afternoon from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Sarah Parrott.
And I'm Brian Fisher. Here's what's making news right now.
A 10-year-old girl is in hospital in life-threatening condition after she was hit by a car in Ajax near Audley and Taunton Road. It happened around 8:30 this morning on Meriter Crescent while she was walking to school, but it was not in a school zone. The driver did stay on scene. Well, meantime, Toronto police are reminding drivers to be aware of their surroundings at all times when in and around school zones. They say to focus only on their driving and to be extra cautious. The warning comes after the death of a 6-year-old boy near a Scarborough school on Friday.
We come on our home court and win. We've shown we can go on their home court and win. So we've got to come out and play with the mindset that we played in the last game. That's the thing. We have a tendency to come out relaxed after we get a win.
This group continues. We're ready for a lot of really good hockey for the next little while.
So enjoying the Jeff Blair Show this morning. Blue Jays wrap up their 4-game series in Anaheim tonight. Francisco Liriano makes his start as Toronto tries to win 3 out of 4. We have it at 10 on Sportsnet 590 and Sportsnet pregame at 9:30. And the Mississauga Steelheads shoot for a commanding 3-0 series lead over the Peterborough Petes when they host Game 3 of the OHL's East Final tonight. Puck drop at Hershey Center at 7.
Speed.
Sold.
Get the relief you need with IT support from AstroNet. Visit us online at allgainnopain.ca or call 1-855-255-4667. That's 1-855-ALL-G-NO-P.
680 News Time 1248.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has recalled several ground meat products because they may be contaminated with E. coli. The products were sold at the Longo's on Glen Erin Drive in Mississauga. The new recall is in addition to the one that was issued on Friday when ground veal sold at the store was recalled. Food contaminated with E. coli may not look or smell spoiled, but it can still make you sick. So far, no illnesses have been reported. 680 News Time, 1249. The Connecticut hometown of former NFL player Aaron Hernandez is preparing to say farewell to him. Services are set for this afternoon in Bristol, Connecticut for Aaron Hernandez, the former New England Patriots tight end who was found hanged in his cell at a maximum security prison in Massachusetts last Wednesday.
He was serving a life sentence for the tooth. A Massachusetts medical examiner ruled Hernandez's death to be a suicide. I'm Shirley Smith.
Helping unemployed people in the 15 hardest hit areas of the country has cost Ottawa more than $1 billion in extra employment insurance benefits. The government had pegged spending at a combined total of $828.4 million between April of 2016 and next March. When the plan was set up last year, the government estimated 235,000 people would use the extra weeks of benefits, but instead received more than 267,000 claims as of the middle of this month. And this year's winner of the $30,000 National Business Book Award is a guide to spotting fake news. Neuroscientist Daniel J. Levitin picked up his award at a ceremony in Toronto this morning for A Field Guide to Lies, Critical Thinking in the Information Age. Last year, Jackie McNish and Sean Silkoff won for their book, Losing the Signal, The Spectacular Rise and Fall of BlackBerry. 680 News Time, 12:50, up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather.
Mark Twain once said, cauliflower is just cabbage with a college education. Well, at the Boundless School, we don't know much about cruciferous vegetables. No, we're more of the zip-lining, whitewater rafting, running through the woods, waving your freak flag, screaming kind of school. And after 13 days in our 600-acre classroom, your little vegetable will earn a full high school credit. The Boundless School. You give us your kid, we'll send you back a new one. Visit theboundlessschool.com.
There are some feelings you can explain, and some that are indescribable. Discover the powerful performance of the 2017 Cadillac ATS all-wheel drive sedan. With a 2-liter turbo engine, Bose sound system, and power sunroof, every journey exhilarates. Lease from $198 bi-weekly for 48 months with $3,200 down and a $2,500 cash credit. Some conditions apply. This is the feeling you've been longing for. Visit your Cadillac showroom for details.
Pemberton Group, westbound on the 401 west of Dixon. It looks like those problems have just cleared away, but they were there for over 2 hours. It was a vehicle fire. So westbound on the 401 is still jammed solid from Leslie Express and Collectors. Heavy going all the way to west of Dixon. And it looks like a lot of people are opting for the westbound Gardner because that's usually slow right now from approaching Jarvis right through to Strawn, but still far better than the westbound 401. And if you're on the eastbound 401, that's busy from south of Pearson and the Express to east of Dixon. We also have a collision eastbound 401 just east of the 400 in the Collectors. That's blocking the right lane and causing a slowdown from the 400 in the Collectors. Southbound on the 400, that's pretty jammed now from Shepherd onto the westbound 401 ramp. And you'll find a delay southbound 404 Don Valley Parkway as you approach Shepherd and the Express to south of Lawrence. Eastbound on the Gardner, that looks pretty good heading into downtown. Busy on the ramp to Spadina. And in Pickering, Durham Regional Police reporting that Kingston Road and Rosebank, that's Kingston Road to East Valtona, that intersection is closed because of downed wires. Discover everything a home should be across the GTA. Pemberton's newest Maple community is Go-To, coming this spring to a connected location. Register at pembertongroup.com. And now with the extended forecast, here's meteorologist Jill Taylor.
Mainly sunny, breezy today, though that wind out of the east-northeast, the guaranteed high 11 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, near 7 degrees this evening, 5 for the overnight low, and about 10 for the high. Tomorrow we'll have periods of rain beginning late morning and a gusty wind out of the east. Cloudy, windy Wednesday near 15. Chance of thunderstorms for Thursday, but up to 21 degrees, well above average. And sun and cloud Friday, about 18. For today, the guaranteed high 11.
Right now in downtown Toronto, we're still stuck at 8 degrees under sunshine, and Pearson is sunny at 9.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Sportsnet, the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet and CBC. Don't miss a moment.
Coming up at the top of the hour, a 10-year-old girl is in life-threatening condition. The driver of a truck who hit a father and daughter late last night. The pair were on a motorcycle at Yonge and Eglinton when they were struck. The 54-year-old man and the 16-year-old girl are still in hospital being treated for injuries that are serious but non-life-threatening. And the truck was located a short time after near Yonge and the 401, but again, the driver is still at large. Coming up in 60 seconds, Chris McCusker has your business report. 680 News Time, 12:55.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the Great Blue Heron Casino's $50,000 Spanish 21 tournament, May 5th to the 7th. You could win a guaranteed grand prize of a Chevy Cruze or $30,000 in cash. For details, visit GreatBlueHeronCasino.com.
Must be 19 or over. See rules for details. Free Players Club membership required.
Great Blue Heron Casino, Port Perry. 60 table games, over 500 slots, and our exciting $50,000 Spanish 21 2021 tournament.
Great Blue Heron Casino. Raising the limits on excitement.
Hi, I do understand. That's why we've created Herzig's Complete Guide to Cataract Solutions to help you understand everything you need to know about cataracts. So Google High Definition Vision, learn about Herzig, and download our free cataract guide today. Look after yourself. Promise me.
680 News Time, 12:56. Now the 680 News Business Report. Here's Chris McCusker. And Sarah, we are still seeing triple-digit gains on both sides of the border. U.S. markets looking at their biggest gains since the 1st of March. The Dow up by 208, 20,756. The S&P up by 23, 2,372. And the NASDAQ, it's still leading the pack in North America, an advance of 1.1%, 5,976. And it hit a new intraday high very early in this session, while the TSX right now is about 10. Spoke to Bloomberg.
I think this is a European event first and foremost. I think we've been saying the biggest disconnect between valuations and economic earnings trends was really in Europe, and I think that the removal of the downside case today, you're seeing that pop as investors were not fully positioned for this move. And I think that the beta that we're seeing in the relative move in Europe equities, say 3%, and U.S. equities 1%, is about in line, maybe a little bit less than what we would see recently.
Now gold is off by $12 to $12.76. Oil is down. They misled the public. Now the company insists the allegations are without merit. Today, the co-founder, Gerald Soloway, retired from the board, and the stock is down by 6% right now, $18.08 a share. Year to date, this stock has dropped by 42%. I'm Chris McCusker. This is 680 News.
Do you know why we always wear our 1-800-GOT-JUNK hats? That hat makes me part of the team, and our team has a reputation to live up to. And what is that reputation? We're always smiling, cheerful, careful, very careful. Why are we that way? Because of the hat. Because of the hat. Wow. When you see those hats, all you have to do is point, and whatever you're pointing at will disappear. We work until midnight, 7 days a week, so you never have to take off work to meet us. We can usually be there in about 90 minutes. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com. Reimagine flavor this spring with fresh deals at the LCBO. Right now, you can save $1 on Bacardi Superior. You can add this rum to make a Bangkok lemonade, topped off with lemongrass and coconut water for a reimagined rum cocktail. Why not bring your own flavor inspiration to a fresh season of calm? While supplies last, quantities are limited. Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Sportsnet. The Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet and CBC. Don't miss a moment.
In Kenora, it's snowing at 0. Leamington and sunshine, it's 14 degrees there. Partly cloudy, 11 in Midland. North Bay, it's clouds and 4 degrees. In Oshawa right now, it's sunny and 10. You're listening to CFTR 680 News. 680 News time at the tone, 1 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Brian Fisher and Sarah Parrott.
Good afternoon. It's Monday, the 24th of April.
Good afternoon. In downtown Toronto, it's sunny and 8 degrees. Here's what's making news this hour.
The police in Durham region are looking for witnesses after a 10-year-old girl was struck and critically injured while walking to school this morning in Ajax.
Drivers are being urged to be extra cautious around school zones following the death of a 6-year-old near a Scarborough school.
Sometimes poor decisions are made.
Police stress motorists need to focus only on operating their vehicles.
If the NDP get elected in next year's provincial election, they want their medication to be covered.
Drug coverage for all Ontarians.
It's part of a $475 million pharmacare plan.
Premier Wynne launches a guaranteed income pilot project. For a single person, we're talking about just under $17,000 a year. It will be tested in Hamilton, Lindsay, and Thunder Bay.
Raptors trying to ride some momentum into Game 5 when they host the Bucks tonight at 7. Blue Jays and Angels one more time. Francisco Liriano starts. Sports at 15.
The NASDAQ hits a new intraday high, while Bay and Wall Street are looking at triple-digit gains. We've got oil in the red for a 6th session, and shares in Kimberly-Clark drop after earnings. Business at 26. 680 News Time, 101.
Traffic and weather together on the one. Then here's Carrie Prunskis.
This report is brought to you by Manulife Bank. Well, we're still looking at about a 20-kilometer backup on the westbound 401 and from Leslie Express and Collectors to west of Dixon. That's where problems recently cleared. And then after that, you'll find it busy on the westbound 401 ramp to the 410. That's due to construction in the right lane. Eastbound on the 401, a slow drive from the 427 to Islington and the Express. And then it's heavy from approaching the 400 to east of the 400 and the collectors. That's where the right lane is blocked, all due to a collision. Southbound on the 400, you'll find that heavy from Shepherd onto the 401 ramp. A delay southbound on the 404 Don Valley Parkway is busy approaching Shepherd and the Express to south of Lawrence. And westbound lane for the Gardner, they're slow from approaching Jarvis to Strawn. Eastbound on the Gardner, not too bad heading into downtown, just busy on the ramp to Spadina. And Durham Regional Police reporting that at the intersection of Kingston Road and Rosebank, that's Kingston Road east of Altona, that intersection is closed down because of downed wires. Feeling controlled by your mortgage? Save thousands with a mortgage done differently. Uncover the mortgage truth at manulife1.ca. And now with the forecast, here's meteorologist Jill Taylor.
Well, mainly sunny, breezy today. That wind out of the east-northeast, our guaranteed high 11 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight, near 7 this evening, 5 for the overnight low, and then periods of rain beginning late morning tomorrow, the high near 10. For today, the guaranteed high 11. In downtown Toronto, it's 8 degrees under a sunny sky. 680 news time, 103.
Well, a 10-year-old girl is in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a car in Ajax. She was on her way to school just before 8:30 this morning when she was struck on Mariner Crescent. That's in the Taunton and Audley Roads area.
Well, many residents in the area say there's a problem with speeders. Constable George Tudos tells 680 News it's too early to conclude speed was involved.
They're just doing the investigation and doing our reconstruction, and we are speaking to many witnesses in the area that saw what took place. So hopefully we'll have a determination of exactly what happened at this location.
Tudos says it's a residential area near a school, but the child was not in the school zone or a crosswalk when she was hit. The driver remained at the scene. Police are asking any witnesses to contact them.
In the meantime, the death of a 6-year-old boy near a Scarborough school has prompted police to issue a reminder to drivers. They are urging motorists to be prepared for the unexpected when it comes to driving in and around school zones. 680's Phil Martino's on that story and joins us live with more from Traffic Services. Phil?
Brian, Toronto Police Constable Clint Stibbe.